This is a vertical drill press. This is used for making holes. This can also be used for tapping. Okay, as with all machines, and we've said it before, and make sure you wear your safety glasses, no loose clothing, no jewelry, nothing that's hanging, hair. Make sure your hair is tied up if you have long hair, especially with this machine, because this machine is a spinning and rotating machine. If something gets caught in it, it will take it right into it. As with the lathes, because they're a spinning or rotating machine, we never leave the chuck key in a lathe. The same applies with the drill press. When you use the chuck key to tighten something up, make sure that you never let your hand off the chuck key, because if you start the machine, it could fly, it could spin around and hit you. When using the drill press, make sure you know where the start and the emergency stop buttons are. Not all the drill presses have emergency shut-off buttons, so in some cases you will have to use the start button to turn the drill press off in case of an emergency. One of the things you want to make sure is that you always keep your surface clear and free of debris. Whenever using the drill press, when a drill bit is in and when it's drilling, when you're pulling down and drilling, sometimes the chips will curl out. Never grab those chips with your hand while the machine is running. The chips can get wrapped around your fingers or your wrist, and it can literally shear the skin off basically off your hands. It's a good idea whenever you come up to a drill press to clean it first, but make sure you don't use your hand when you're wiping the chips. The chips can get caught in your hand. You could touch your eye, and chips could get into your eyes. Make sure you use a brush to wipe down the table and the machinery. Whenever using the drill press, make sure that you set your speed on the drill press to match the type of material that you're doing. A speed too high could cause the piece to catch. A speed too slow could cause it to burn up. When using the drill press, make sure that your work is secure to the table. In most cases, if you're using small parts, you would want to mount a vise to the drill press table, lock the vise down to the table, and then lock your part within the vise. Whenever drilling through thin plate, make sure you have something underneath it so that you don't drill into the table. And make sure you use the table dogs, or the table clamps as we call them, to lock down your material. Typically you would use more than one, but I have one set up here as an example. As we've said before, that when drilling, sometimes you have to drill pieces that are heavy pieces. You want to make sure, and I can't emphasize this enough, that you have everything locked down, because if that piece gets caught and the drill bit gets caught, it could spin it around and it could fall on your feet and damage, crush your toes. Whenever using the drill press and you're drilling through thick material, again, make sure that it is clamped properly, and make sure you use some oil or lubrication on the drill. That way it cools the drilling process down, because it creates friction. Do never touch the drill bit after you've drilled something, because it will be hot and it can severely burn your hands. Whenever doing any maintenance on the drill press, make sure that you unplug it and lock it out before continuing.